The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry.
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend Dave Van Auken. Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Jillian the Savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
What is up, Fight fam?
Hey.
Guys, I miss you both. What is happening?
I know.
Maddie Levine.
What is happening? It's Maddie Levine. Elle Dawson's in the house. Dave Van Auken's in the house. The crew is back together. And the puppy! Oh, the cuteness! I can't handle it.
He's just going to come on the show every week.
That's fine.
The more the
That's
merrier.
fine.
Yeah, please.
Guys, my puppy is getting fixed today.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's where she is. Dave.
No baby cocoa beans?
No baby cocos. Oh my God, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah. What's the puppy's name, Elle? I forget.
This is Caesar.
Caesar? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So cute. Well, welcome in. Thank you as always for joining us. Hey, Chris, thank you for joining as always. Loving the new show. Fight Bananas is just all over the place, and it just gets me so fucking amped. Always always growing. So Chris has an awesome show now on Fight Bananas. Elle and I have an awesome show now on Fight Bananas. We kind of didn't do it for Father's Day last weekend, but we're going to get back into we were going to get back into it this weekend. And for everyone that joined us on our first episode, thank you so much. It was so much fun. And we're going to be back at it this Sunday morning, 10 a.m. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. So just keep an eye out for that. Hello, Joe. Thank you for joining from LA, baby.
What's up, Joe?
Awesome.
Athletics Club. Dude, those guys, huge shout out. I'm going to be coming on to their podcast very, very soon. Those guys are awesome. And not even that, the merch is so freaking good. I was in Vegas all weekend long wearing Productive Athletics Club stuff all weekend. It was insane. Dude, Vegas is a thing. All right, guys?
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Can't wait.
Okay. You want me to start there?
I say we start with your big trip to Vegas because you were out there working.
And I got so many other stories too in Vegas. I got a lot. But the first thing, you ready for this one? I'll start here.
Ready.
I will start here. I have done a lot, especially in this space. UFCs, boxing, bare knuckle. The one thing was funny when I was there and I was kind of talking to Dean about it. I have never been to a big boxing event in Las Vegas. I've been to a big boxing event. I was in that Milwaukee one and all that stuff. I've never been in that MGM Grand boxing scene in Las Vegas. It was incredible. It was so electric. It was once in a life. It was nuts. Yeah. I cannot wait to get back. The media scene, it was unworldly. It was insane. Appreciate it, Joe. Appreciate it. The grind never does stop. Big day yesterday for Fight Bananas. So much great stuff is happening. I'm blown away. Blessed about everything that's happening right now in our world. Love it. But it was so cool. It was unbelievable. Also, I went to Iridium's kind of like their home. I talked to Elle about it. I kind of went to their home, circuit, their scene. And it was so funny. That was everything was happening with Diego Lopez. And like, he was kind of telling me the scoop, why it was happening. He took me to Extreme Couture, right? And I'm there and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, cool. There's 40 guys on the map, but there's 12 UFC fighters. Christopher Curtis, he would not be offended me saying this. He looked like a goddamn gorilla. He was 220 pounds. He was humongous. He took a break. He's like, I smell like barbecue. He literally said that to me. So that was that. Hilarious. The one thing. Aljamain Sterling was there, and I'm not shitting you. He was 190 pounds. He was effing humongous.
He usually does that, though.
This guy was the bantamweight champion of the world. Maybe the greatest bantamweight ever. He was huge, guys. Huge.
Dude, I cannot believe he ever made 135. And not just bantamweight. He made champ weight at 135 several times.
So yeah. He does that though. He blows up after every fight. Oh, it's like, bro, it's wild. It's wild.
So huge. But
yeah, Dave, I mean, you were out and about in Vegas doing your thing. Tell everybody, first of all, why you were there. Okay. You were like let's. Oh. Yeah.
So on Saturday night was the Tank Davis, Durante Davis versus Frank Martin for the WBA, super light
Whatever
boxing.
1,000
championship fight
title they need. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the co-main event was great, and that was one thing that was really cool, and that was talked about all weekend long. The co-main event, in a weird way, was a main event, and they don't do that in boxing. They give you one fight, and then the undercard is usually prospects with a good record against a journeyman. That's just boxing. It's not the UFC. The UFC stacks the card, usually 3, 4, 5, and has a good prelim on it even. Boxing, usually it's one mega fight, and the rest is what it is. This card, and it's one of the reasons why I went, had a mega main event. Tank Davis is a superstar, by the way, absolute superstar. And then their co-main is David Benavides, Mexican fighter who was like a triple champion in the, at 168. He moved up to 175 for the first time and won that championship. He was awesome. His son was there. He was so awesome. Like, the family was great. He was probably the coolest guy. Like, he talked to the media, took a lot of time. Wished everyone Father's Day afterwards, spent a lot of time on the post-fight presser and everything. It was awesome. Like, I can't tell you enough, guys, the media of it. Like, there was a huge ballroom, humongous. Hot 95.7 was there, ESPN,
radio in the house.
So much, it was just wild how much media was there. The press conferences was humongous. The stage was awesome. It was so cool. Guys, it was cool. It was fun. I'm not going to lie. It was awesome.
So what do we got to do to get our own spot on Media Row? Like, that's the question here.
I already talked to him about it. It's already in the works.
Love it.
Like,
that's what I love to hear.
Like, I'm always, you know me, it's the next and always trying to pay it forward. We're already on to the next show. Like, we're on it.
Well, I think the next big boxing show is the Jake Paul and Mike Perry fight that just got announced.
No. Miss Maddie Levine. The next big boxing show is Jorge Gamebred Masvidal.
Well, I think okay. All right. We all know that one is coming.
Oh, okay.
So we weren't talking about that.
Right.
Well, we'll be sure to let Jorge know that you didn't think he was a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Great. Now I have no job. Perfect. Love that. Love that for me. Love that for me. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's gonna be so sick. I can't wait.
It's gonna be.
By the way, I saw Jorge out there.
Jorge was out there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love that.
Maybe we were breaking bread together. I don't know. Maybe we were talking.
Think he might make a Tuesday afternoon appearance.
That'd be dope.
Oh yeah. He'll come on anytime, dude. He loves Fight Bananas. Loves Fight Bananas.
Good. Fucking hire me for full time then, bruh. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that Jorge money. Let me get some of that Jorge dinero up in here. Come on, let's go. Let's go, man. Put your money where your mouth is, bruh.
All right, Dave. You better start before Maddie gets herself in trouble.
Unbelievable. It was awesome. Vegas was, and last thing about Vegas. Bruno Mars was there, by the way. Shout out to Bruno Mars. The food in Las Vegas is amazing. We had the best dinner, one of the best dinners I've ever had in my life. The food. Shout out Dean Toole. Dean Toole hooked it up. He's like, "Hey, Dave, whatever you want." I'm like, "What? Whatever I want." He's like, "Yeah, put 2 of everything."
Yeah. Well, the thing with you, Dave, it's like you could go to Chick-fil-A and you'd be like, "This is the best Chick-fil-A I've ever had in my life. This is the best." Like, you could literally just go to 7-Eleven and be like, "This is the best 7-Eleven I've ever had."
I love life, Maddie. I love life.
I know. It's fair. It's fair.
I love life.
Fair. Yeah, it's fair. Did he take you to the top of the Strat though? Have you heard of that place?
I was working, bro. I was grinding on the streets of the MGM.
No, I see that because it has the restaurant up there that does it rotates 360.
I took myself there one time. So there's a really cool app called Hotel Tonight, where if they don't sell out all their hotel rooms, you can get a super cheap last minute hotel room.
I love that.
Grant was fighting in Vegas, and he was like in the fighter hotel. I'm pretty sure it was during COVID, so like he couldn't even leave the hotel. So I just bought myself a hotel room at the Strat, took myself to dinner, wined and dined myself on the that restaurant up there.
I love that. I love that for yourself.
It was legit.
What is this, Dave?
I had a good week. What is that?
Our main man just Brawl Energy just started watching. I just brand new energy drink, Brawl Energy. I just wanted to show this to Elle, gluten free.
Are there a lot of energy drinks that have gluten in them? I mean, I appreciate them labeling it.
I think it's one of those marketing things where it's like gluten free.
It's
yeah,
so
no
good.
shit.
How's it tasting?
This is the best tasting energy drink I've ever had in my life. I'm not
What
joking.
flavor is that?
Grape.
It looks yellow. It's grape?
Oh yeah.
Ugh, gross.
Maddie.
Grape sounds like what I used to have as a kid for cough syrup.
Like baby Tylenol?
Yeah, something like that.
I used to love that stuff.
Oh,
thank
like
you.
I pretended to be
on
sick
one right now, Maddie.
so that I could have baby Tylenol. Okay, we gotta talk about something.
Yeah, all right, here we go, guys. Conor McGregor's never fighting again. Hasbin Chimaev is retiring. Alex Pieta and Yuri Prohazic's the main event of 303. Saudi Arabia's this weekend. Jim Paul and come on, what's going on?
Dave, I have one thing to tell you about Conor McGregor. I freaking told you so.
Yeah, she
and
really
you told
did.
me I was nuts. Told you.
You're right. I was wrong. You're tall. I'm short. You're tough. I'm soft.
Listen, if you were to have joined us on Mornings with Maddie and Elle, then you would have known that Elle did not think this was going to happen. I was still thinking, I was like, listen, it's going to happen. And she was like, nah.
I said I'll believe it when the cage door closes.
Seriously.
And that's how I still am. I agree with you, Dave. I don't think he's ever going to fight again.
I think it's over now.
Like, why?
I think it's
why
over
fight?
now.
Why fight?
I think it's very interesting that they waited so long to say something, because in my head, I was like, okay, they cancel the press conference. That was weird. What's going on?
I got the inside scoop on this, Maddie. After you're done, I got the inside scoop.
And then I'm thinking, okay, well, if he broke his leg, he's not fighting. They're going to cancel the fight. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't think he broke his leg. Maybe he's not feeling great. Maybe he like sprained it, is trying to walk it off type of thing. But then when he came out and said like he probably has a broken leg, I'm like, why did you guys wait so long? What's the scoop, Dave?
All right, so I got the inside scoop. Not saying where I heard this from a birdie, but I heard this story. So he doesn't have a broken leg. He did hurt his maybe leg, ankle, foot area, the same leg that he did hurt against Dustin. That area is hurt, right? So when he hurt it the day before the press conference, that day that he was going to leave, he hurt it on that Saturday, which the UFC was going to fight, right? The big pay-per-view they had, Dustin versus Makhachev. So he hurt it that day. When they knew he couldn't fly out to Dublin, that's when they said, hey, canceled. They were going to maybe call it off right there and then. Of course, the UFC does not want to cancel this fight. It's the biggest fight ever, the biggest gate ever, all that stuff. Conor's like, guys, I don't think I can do it. Like, I know right off the bat, my leg, this is not going to happen. Like, he knew it. Dana, the UFC, even Conor's people, his agent, his main guy was like, wait, give it time. Let's see if we can heal. Because let's be honest, if we're going to replace this fight, it doesn't matter if we replace it literally the night after Dustin and Makhachev, or we replace it literally 3 days ago when they did it. So in the UFC's mind, they're saying, let's prolong it as long as we can. They'll maybe have Conor. Conor knew.
Or to make sure they have a replacement fight ready to go.
Well, they're already working. So before the first, Alex and Yuri was not their first choice. Like, they wanted Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. They talked to Volkanovski's. They talked to a lot of those kind of guys in spots to maybe try to keep even Chandler on the card. They were working in that area, right? Lightweight, BMF stuff. They were working about it. And that's why I remember when Dana White said that at the press conference, hey, we're working on something about Max Holloway. He really was. Like, they were talking to Max Holloway that night about main event in 303. So with all that being said, in the back of their minds, they're hoping Conor
magically
he never, ever put out of a fight. They're hoping he kind of changes his mind. Maybe a little juicy juice needle goes into him, whatever, somehow gets through it. He never did. He knew on that moment he was done and he was out. So it just kept on going and going. And then when it was like the rumors kept on getting bigger and bigger and so on and so on, they had to pull the plug sooner or later. Then when it got closer, that's when Max Holloway goes like, no, guys, I was maybe, 3 weeks out, a month out. I'm now we're 20 days out. We're 15 days out. So that's when Max was out. Oliveira was out. It was literally Alex and Yuri, which is great.
Yeah.
Like everyone's,
Listen,
I
I
don't know why
love
people
this.
are upset about this. I love that fight. I loved it
Who's
in New York.
upset
I love
about
it
this?
now.
5 times. Like I
What?
Who
don't
is
love
upset
them.
about this? Why
Oh,
would you
no,
be
no.
upset about this?
I was there in Vegas when it happened. People were angry, Maddie. Like I was around a lot of MMA. Mac Life was there. MMA Fight was there. A lot of people were there for the tank fight. People were angry. I'm telling you.
Listen, I wanted to see Conor get back in there. I wanted to see that fight, but 2 weeks notice and you get that matchup, it could have been so much worse. Now you have two of the most savage humans in the world saying yes to a fight 2 weeks out. I know Pereira has to lose like 20 something pounds. I'm sure Yuri is right in that ballpark. Like these dudes are savages. Like, and what I wanted to talk about this fight was this is a perfect example of staying ready instead of getting ready. And I think that a lot of these up and coming fighters have this mentality of like, well, I need a full fight camp or I'm not ready. Like I have to say no. It's like, no, like a champion is always ready. I mean, granted, Alex has broken toes and he's like, whatever. He's kind of, he's kind of an anomaly. But I think this is a perfect lesson in when you stay ready, opportunities come to you. And that is why Pereira, Yuri, people like them are always going to be in the upper echelon. Like they're just different. They're just different.
I couldn't agree more. And then just to triple down on what we're saying here about this card, they also added Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez out of nowhere. Like, guys, I don't,
your flames.
Yeah, dude, that is the fight of the, like, I cannot wait for that fight. Like, cannot wait. And I love how it came out of nowhere. I love when fights, like when you see the fight poster for the first time, you're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, sometimes when we see Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz for UFC 306, it's like, I knew this fight was going to happen. Like, it's been rumored about it forever. Like, we know it's happening.
There are very few surprises these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody knows something. There's always rumors.
That fight came out of nowhere. Ortega and Lopez now, you're like, what? That is awesome. And then I even like the Anthony Smith and Allberg. That's kind of cool too. Like, to keep Allberg on the card and keep the card beef. So I'm pumped. Like,
I think UFC 303 turned out to be a pretty dope card. If I do say so myself, it's unfortunate that a lot of it had to change, but the way it changed, I'm here for it, honestly. Like the main card is going to be super fun. We get to see MVP again, which I mean, I think it's going to be really fun to see him develop in the UFC cage. And he's going up against the heel, like it's going to be, they're kind of both heels, which is interesting. But this is going to be good.
Such a great comment there, Maddie. You ready for this one? So many Ireland people bought tickets for Conor.
Right.
This is Ian Gary's shot.
Oh, shoot.
This is, and I heard this from Vegas too. It is literally going to be a 75-60% doubling crowd. Yeah. If Ian Gary can't get over, if he can't be the good guy, if Ian Gary, like, for once in your life, be like, hey, MVP, you're a great fighter. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm going to be the best fighter that night. If he can't just do that and pump up the crowd, if he has to go the arrogant route, and dude, Maddie, you interviewed Ian, if he goes that route, I'm going to be really disappointed because he has a shot to become a superstar that night in a good way. Like he can kind of get the crowd over because it's going to be a good Ireland crowd because of Conor.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I need to map this all out in my head for a second. So, honest question, does Ireland support Ian Gary? Are they fans of him or not?
I think it depends. I think it's similar to Conor. I think there are a lot of Irish people that don't like Conor. Okay. And then there are tons of Irish fans who adore him. You know?
I think we are seeing Ian, which, and I think this is smart of him. We are seeing Ian kind of reroute his game plan here of how he presents himself. He has been very open in the media about how he couldn't really find a home, right? Like he was bouncing from gym to gym. Him and his wife and his kids seem like nomads. They're constantly traveling. They're constantly in Brazil. I think he is living in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't remember the last time he has said anything about Ireland, has given paid homage to Ireland, and he's from Ireland. You cannot take that away from him. I understand that. I can't remember the last time he has been like repping their flag and repping Ireland. And now that he's on UFC 303 minus Connor, all of a sudden he's coming out with his new shirt with the Ireland flag on it. He's like, Ireland, I got
good branding
you.
choice. Good branding choice.
Like, I got this. Like, here we go, Team Ireland. I'm like, bro, you haven't been to Ireland in like a very long time, you know? So it's like, I think we're witnessing him just being smart with the marketing. And I don't blame him. And the shirt's kind of fire. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. It's kind of fire. I just find that interesting. I'm just kind of putting it out there for you guys to pick up. I just find it interesting.
Two things we haven't mentioned yet, guys. King Mo coming on the show at 1:45. Dakota Ditcheva coming on the show at 2:30 Eastern. And let's answer a couple of these questions. We love people here in the crowd. Anthony Smith is like a gatekeeper now. Oberger show he's a top contender. I agree. This is a big fight for either guy. Either guy, whoever wins this, fights that Jamal Hill or Ankalaev next for the number one contendership. Big fight. Dawson, don't know where this is coming. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Joseph. Alex and Yuri will have more fights than John Jones. Crazy to say. John Jones will fight Stipe in November. Guys, I haven't heard this at all. Joseph saying Yuri to fight at middleweight? Never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know if I have either.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Can he make 85?
I would be
pretty big dude.
I would be shocked if he could make middleweight. That would be shocking. And why, I guess, you know, to like further make the point, like why, you know, he's good at light heavyweight. I think I'm excited for this rematch. I've heard two separate takes on it. I've heard that, you know, this one's going to be closer than the last. And then I've also heard that Pereira is just going to run with it and like smoke him again. So I think it's going to be a good one.
Yuri Prochazka is going to win that fight. Total 100% gut feeling right now. June 18th, Dave Van Auken, 122. Yuri wins that fight right now.
I disagree.
You want to bet? On the show.
Banana bet? Do we need to get Maddie a banana hat? Here,
I know. I don't have
banana hat?
I don't have one.
We got to get Maddie one.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm not going to need it because Dave's going to lose anyway. Shaking. I think
I will mail this to you.
Pereira wins.
I got Yuri
in 3 rounds or less. It's 5 rounds, right? Is it 5? Yeah. 3 rounds or less. Yeah, I know.
It's a championship fight.
He wins in 3 rounds or less.
All right.
Probably the second round.
Well, we have ourselves a banana bet, L. Dawson. Wait, so L, you heard mine. You got Maddie's. Where are you at on it? First reaction, fights made. What's your take?
I think this is one of those fights where Pereira should win most of the time. Okay. But Yuri is such a unique fighter, and I'm very interested to have somebody on the show who has fought him not once, but twice. And I am very excited to ask that question a little bit later. Just, you know, hear his insights on it, because I think he's unique. I said Pereira wins most of the time, Dave. Calm down.
But you're saying there's a chance.
I think he's such a difficult guy to prepare for. And but the problem is he's not always the most defensively sound, which is a really dangerous game to play with a guy like Alex Pereira.
Who's not afraid to get hit.
There's just the rematch of it. And just like when Alex took the fight, like his toes are messed up. Yeah, there just seems like he already said like, hey, I need to take a break after this. I don't like where he's at. Don't like where he's at.
These kind of comments fucking kill me.
I agree.
Like,
I agree with Matt.
Yeah, he was winning until he fucking wasn't. Okay.
I know.
Like, sure. He won. He was winning.
I was dating Cindy Crawford until she said no.
And then he got knocked the fuck out. So, like,
what day?
I was dating Cindy Crawford until she said no.
Oh my God, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. But anyway, final thoughts on that fight. I think I will speak to the striking side of things because that's where I feel most comfortable talking. Kickboxing, striking, high-level kickboxers adapt and evolve on the highest level, adapt and evolve very quickly, and they do a very good job of learning their opponents' mistakes and habits. And I think Alex will be able to attack this fight differently, and he'll be just as successful. So That's my take. But anyway, this weekend is not that. This weekend is Whitaker versus Aliskerov, so that one's gonna be dope.
I'm very excited about that.
Wait, Hazmat Chimaev's not fighting?
Nope.
Oh, he's not.
Nope.
You ready for this?
Wait.
Aliskerov. Let's go.
You ready for this? Is this a hot take? I'm over Chimaev. I'm over it. The man doesn't fight. I'm over it.
I think we're all over it. And it sucks because he came out guns blazing when he joined the UFC. It was like, holy shit, we have a new star on our hands. He is so aggressive, so deadly.
So inactive.
So inactive. Like, what is going on? But there's a piece of me that is a little concerned for him because I truly think that something health related is going on with him. This man is constantly ill. Like, what is happening? You know, like, is it bad weight cuts? Is it, something outside of MMA and fighting that we don't know about? Like, it's like, dude, you're done. I don't know.
No, I agree. Like, he's been sick, severely sick, like hospitalized. I don't know.
It sucks. It really does suck. But
I agree. Like, he made waves for a minute, and then it was just, we saw him, like, he retired and we're like, oh, well, that's over. And then he came right back and we're like, oh, okay. And then it was cancellation. And it's just, I'm just at this point, anytime he's on a card, I'm like, cool, another fight we're not going to see.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Right.
And more than anything, especially in our space, like we talk about it and like we see what's going to happen next and we make matchmaking Monday. And like, he's such a guy that's so talked about in the space, but then he never fights. It's just like, I'm over it. Jake Paul fights more than this guy. Like, he actually gets in there and fights, and everyone makes fun of Jake Paul. Like, he's a YouTuber. The man fights. He's fighting Mike Perry July 20th. He actually fights. Like, he fights a real fighter in Tyson Fury. I mean,
I know. At what point
is that fight bare knuckle or boxing?
Boxing.
Well, no,
I would love to see it bare knuckle, but I think
that just came out today, Dave. No, nobody knew if it was bare knuckle or boxing. That literally came out a couple minutes ago.
All you gotta do is just message me. All you gotta do is Venmo me $5. I would have told you.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, this is sad.
That is very sad.
That's super tough. That's a rough injury too. I hope he recovers.
I loved that fight. That fight was going to be awesome. Mike Davis and Drew Dober. Oh,
that would have been really fun. Like,
yeah,
very explosive. Both very explosive.
Yeah,
guys.
Seriously. How long of a recovery is something like that? That might be
like
9 months.
It can be rough.
I know.
Depending on how bad the tear is, it's a difficult thing to heal, and then you have to get the musculature and the strength back.
Right. Damn.
All right, real quick, guys. We did mention Conor a little bit. There's another side of the story. It's the American who was Mr. Bellator. He came into the UFC, had this kind of viral ending. He did the flip. He did the Tank Davis flip. He became a very polarized and very popular guy here in in the UFC. Michael Chandler. He's been waiting now for 2 years. All he wanted was this Conor McGregor thing. Everyone's saying move on and fight. I guess everyone's saying he's going to fight Conor later on. What I heard is that they're literally going to add another pay-per-view to this calendar. You know, the UFC has their calendar literally 6 months in advance. And where to go. They might literally add another pay-per-view in it just for Conor and Chandler to kind of make this work.
And then when that fight falls off, they're going to be scrambling to save that card.
I feel so bad. And I know this sounds so stupid. He's a millionaire, and I know it is what it is. And he's making this decision. He could have stayed on this card. That's another thing, too. I got the gossip. Michael Chandler could have stayed on this card and fought Volkanovski. He could have fought another top-end guy. Huh?
At 170?
Maybe a little bit less. Maybe 165 catchweight. It could have been Chandler and Volk. He did not. He goes, if Conor's off, I'm off. That's what he told the UFC.
No.
That's what he told him.
That breaks my heart.
He's waiting for Conor.
Hey, like you said, the dude doesn't, if he doesn't need the money, his prerogative. I can't get over I can't remember who made this edit, but there was a video that was circulating Instagram, and it's like the scene. It's the video of him like when his ankle blew out and he like sat down, and it looks like he's trying to sit down, and it's a bag of money, and then somebody edited Connor in, and he like pulls it out from under him, and he like falls. And I'm like, man, that's rough. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Like, this poor dude is just like, all right, I'm about to make this bag. And they're like, whoop.
Yeah, no, you're not. I wonder if it's this idea of motivation. Like, when a person gets hyper fixated on a goal, I wonder if Chandler just is not motivated by anybody else other than Connor. And it's, it's the idea of the money grab. It's the idea of fighting the most famous fighter in MMA. It's, there's a lot that motivates you for a fight like that. Is Chandler just not motivated by anybody else? Is that the right answer? I don't know.
This is my take, and I'm going to run to the restroom real quick for the next hour and a half so I'm not killing myself. This is my take. Michael Chandler knows he has the fight right now with Connor. He's connected. He did the Ultimate Fighter. Even Connor's even said, like, he's cool with fighting Chandler right now. If Chandler goes off and fights anyone else, and Chandler can't fight, he can't fight Bobby Green or Patty Pimblett. Like, he's got to fight Max Holloway, Volkanovski, Oliveira. Like, he's got to fight one of the best guys in the world. If he loses, Connor is not fighting Michael Chandler off a loss. He won't do it. If he loses the Connor fight. And I know this sounds crazy, and I heard this too. Michael Chandler will make more money just fighting this one Conor McGregor, just main eventing this one Conor, than the 4 other fights that he had in the UFC before this. And it's one of those things. And then you're ready for this one. God forbid if he beats Conor McGregor, the next fight for Michael Chandler is humongous. It is Makhachev or Max Holloway for the BMF title. Like, there's no other fight he can do. So it's like, if you're Chandler, it does make sense now to wait. Like, why risk everything?
No, and like you said, if he doesn't need the money and he's comfortable and his family's good, like, it makes sense.
I know.
It sucks, but it makes sense.
It just sucks because it's like your destiny is literally in the hands of a child. It's like this man, or like a teenager, I should say. Like, Connor is Connor. He's going to do whatever he wants because he can. And I think we can say what we want. We don't know all the details, even Dave. But I think Connor was taking it seriously. I like to think that. Call me naive, call me ignorant. I would like to think that he was taking this fight seriously. And
in terms of like old Connor, no. In terms of where he is now, like, he's still like, there's still videos of him a couple weeks before the fight, before like we knew he got injured, he was still out partying,
exactly,
out of his mind. So like, sure, he's taking it seriously to an extent, but I don't think we're ever going to get the hungry.
Yeah, we're never gonna get like 2017 McGregor. We're never gonna get like that. McGregor's gone, which is so sad to think about. But what if Connor never fights again? How long is Chandler going to wait? I think Chandler will wait until he hears the words McGregor has retired. I think he will.
No,
I think he will wait until there's no reason to wait anymore. So hopefully McGregor can get his shit together.
This has become the new Tony Ferguson Khabib.
Yeah.
This is the new version of that.
Good call.
Absolutely. I mean, so we got that. We got Connor out. Khamzat out. And enter Pereira and Yuri. Enter Lopez and Ortega. What else? Jamal Hill is out. Do we know what happened to Jamal? I know did he get injured? Knee. It was his knee. Right. Yeah. Okay. So it was his knee. Side note, we don't really have to get into this, but every time he posts about Alex,
it's rough. It's rough,
buddy. It is the cringiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I am a Jamal fan. I like his energy. Love his heart. You got knocked out, bruh. The end.
It was a weird. I'm kind of annoyed because I think DC started this, didn't he?
With what?
Wasn't it like a thing where he was like, I'm not saying this would have changed the outcome, but he didn't like reset them? Wasn't that his video? And then Jamal Hill was like, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he did, but he was. I feel like he's been animated since then. Like he's been
right. He's like, I've been quiet this whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing. He keeps saying, you distracted me. Homie, you kicked him in the balls. And then Alex didn't flinch for a second. He didn't even blink, okay? His eyes never left your sight. You were the one that got distracted. That is on you, okay?
And he didn't get distracted either because they both threw punches.
They literally
between the low blow and the knockout.
Yeah,
both of them engaged.
Yeah,
so
I had to get that off my chest. I had to get it off. It's off.
It's weird. I agree. It's weird.
Izzy is back. Let's go. Excited about that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I love
Israel Adesanya. Dricus du Plessis. Let's go. Let's go. When were they? Have they been matched yet? Weren't they originally supposed to fight?
It was like talked
or
about.
it's just been talked about, right?
It was never like set, was it?
No.
I don't think it was ever.
Oh, it was. Dricus had to pull out, right?
Yes, it was set. It was Izzy versus Dricus. Dricus pulled out, and that's why Sean Strickland got the title shot.
That's right. You're right.
Yep.
That's
I talked to
wild how history has happened in that division.
Yeah. So what? I don't know why I love Israel Adesanya so much in this spot. He was one of the great champions the UFC had. He fought so much, headlined so many events back to back to back, and one of the best divisions. The middleweight division's awesome. There's a lot of contenders even still, and he went through the line, and there's still a gamut coming for him now. I love that he took a lot of time off, took outside, and it was so funny that he definitely wants the rematch with Strickland. Like, that might happen again. The Dricus could have happened. That was going to headline UFC 300. Like, that was no doubt about it. That was going to headline UFC 300. Dricus du Plessis said, no, I'm not ready. I'm not physically ready, which I respect. There's a big part of me that says that fight is so big. Don't do it. Not 100%. He wants to beat Izzy. Don't let, I hate to say this, don't let the UFC force the spot. It's kind of like the Aljamain to Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Champs should be active, but they should be ready at the same time. Like,
yes.
They should be able to take their time. Champs should.
Yes. Yeah. And this is perfect. This is the match. It's in kind of Izzy's, Perth, Australia. I love this for him. I think Izzy's going to beat him. I think he's going to beat him bad too. Like, I remember last time I always said this about Dricus and Sean, like, those guys fight so oddly, and kind of Izzy a little bit too. Like, even when Izzy lost to Strickland, he lost bad. Like, those guys can't have a close fight in a weird way. I think Izzy beats Dricus bad. Like, he dominates him.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little closer than you think.
I'm with you, Maddie.
I do. Get that banana hat out, you motherfucker. It is gonna be way closer. Well, I will say this. It is so weird seeing. I froze for a second. It is so weird seeing Izzy on the other side of the poster. Right? Very weird. But I love the idea of a hungry Izzy because I think he got a little comfortable at the top, and there's that sense of like, I am untouchable, and I think it kind of happens to everybody. And I think this kind of reset. I am on fire.
I now understand what you meant, Dave. That day I wasn't here, and you said that Maddie needs Jesus.
Yo, me and Jesus are like this, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
We got Jesus and Maddie together.
Listen, is he disappointed in me at times? Yes, but it's all right. It's all right. What was I saying? Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. So Izzy. So I think he's more motivated now more than ever, which I think that's going to bring out the best version of Izzy, which is going to be fireworks. But I think we've seen in the past, Izzy is the best at creating space and picking his shots and, making it a distance game, and he kind of comes in when he wants to. But I think Dricus is similar to Sean, where he is just forward, and Izzy struggles with the constant forward pressure. So I think it's going to create some tension.
I would like to point out too, Izzy's struggle has always been guys who can make the fight really dirty.
Right.
And
make it ugly.
The Kelvin Gastelum fight. Kelvin had a super, super competitive fight with Izzy. And man, it was that up, down, and that constant pressure.
Yeah.
Obviously, Izzy's not the same fighter he was in, 2019? But
I was going to say that.
Duplessis is bigger, stronger, more physical, with more power than Kelvin Gastelum. And I think he can, and he doesn't get tired. So I think he can implement a similar style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with the latter on that, L, for sure. Dricus is a better version than Calvin was in that time. So I agree with that. But to me, Izzy is such a better fighter. When you win a championship, you hear about it all the time in life, and there's so many different levels of this. You become teacher of the year, you become a wife, whatever it is. When you level up, whatever, you kind of get more secure. Like when Izzy is a hell of a better fighter than he was during that run. Remember, like him versus Anderson Silva was like a close matchup. It was wonky. Remember, it was like a kickboxing match, and like if he fought Anderson Silva now, but you know what I mean. Like he would dominate him as a champion. I feel like he would wreck him. I don't know. I think Izzy's at another level, and I think Izzy knows this too. You ready for this one? If Izzy loses this fight, does he ever fight for a middleweight championship ever again? Like
Is
ever?
he?
I think yeah. I think he's always going to be one fight away from a title.
Yeah. I don't think he gets it right away. I think he's going to have to put some work
Whitaker,
in.
Strickland,
Brendan
Allen, Chimaev.
But Brendan's not there yet. He's not.
But he might be one fight away.
Yeah, I think two. You got to remember how many guys have been sitting in that top 5 for so long that the only guy that beat them was Izzy.
Yeah.
Whitaker, Marvin Vittori, like
but
Cannonier,
Marvin's out for the year.
Like those guys, and I know Cannonier just lost, but like those guys worse than Imavov. Like Imavov just got a huge win. Didn't love the stoppage, but he was looking really good, you know? So it's you have a lot of guys there, but I think Izzy, like his legacy and the fact that he will probably beat 90% of those guys 90% of the time. I think he's always in that place where he could be one fight away from a title shot for the rest of his career if he wanted to be.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to sell product at the beginning of the show. I was so excited for the show, guys. Guys, go to Productive Athletics Club on IG. Best people in the world. Go to them. Guys, underneath, go to JoshUrSize.com. Put in the promo code FightBananas for 15% off. There's that. Can I sell one more thing? Can we sell a little bit more?
Yes.
Man, I forgot. We're 40 minutes into the show. Head to HKA USA. Use promo code Bananas20 for 20% off. You can get some shin guards. You can get some boxing gloves. You can get some T-shirts. You can get some fighters T-shirts. Support your local fighters, or get some mouthpiece. Get whatever you want. HKAUSA.com. Bananas20. There you go. So Productive Athletics Club, Josh Versailles, HK. We just became a commercial for a minute. I'm sorry. We got to sell some merch.
Thank you guys all for supporting us. Very, very much.
Always.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Where were we at?
So we got to Izzy's coming back. Do we even want to touch upon this weird Sonnen versus Silva situation, this boxing match?
It's fine. They at least did that the way that a fight like that should happen, which is
I agree with that.
Nobody watching it. It's on a very low, like for real. Like,
but they kind of went into it knowing what it was going to be. Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
it was a fun charity event.
Yeah.
For Anderson Silva to retire in Brazil and them to squash their beef that they don't really have anymore. You know, like it was done tastefully.
Yeah. All right.
I agree.
I'll take that. I think that's all we need to say on that.
I mean, if Mike Tyson can still box, so can Anderson Silva. That's all.
Facts. You know what's crazy? Speaking of boxing, I know Masvidal is the next fight. I get that. But Jake Paul is the favorite against Mike Perry right now.
I will say I do think the boxing gloves makes it more competitive.
1,000%.
But
1,000%.
Talking about someone
size, I don't know about that.
Let's ask someone about this Jake Paul and Mike Perry stuff. So much more. We got Yuri Prochazka coming in short. Looks like he's already at the gym. This man's always at the gym. He was traveling last week. The one and only King Mo coming to the show. What's up, King Mo?
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Man, Slight's kind of strong. What's up? What's going on?
Looks like you're at
Good
ATT.
I'm at ATT right now, yeah.
He's always at ATT.
Always working.
So I heard y'all talking about the Mike Perry, Jake Paul thing.
Got to hear
What
you.
do you got on it? What do you got?
Well, Jake Paul's been boxing for a long time, like for real. Like
Yeah.
I remember when I lived in Vegas, he was training with Jeff Mayweather and other guys for a while, and Logan was training. He spars with pros at the Prince Rance Boxing Gym in Las Vegas, and he's doing glove boxing. Mike Perry's been doing bare knuckle, which you can grab and clinch and dirty box. But with boxing, all that clinching is gone. Jake Paul is like 6'2", 6'3", about 200 pounds.
Big boy, yeah.
Big boy.
Mike Perry is 185. Now Mike Perry's gonna be game, but I think as far as boxing is concerned, Jake Paul's the favorite for a reason.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Jake Paul would stop Mike Tyson. If they were to fight, Jake Paul stops Mike Tyson. Stops him easy.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Easy.
I agree.
So
you're a boxing guy. You like love watching boxing?
Yeah, big time boxing fan. Big time.
Did you watch that Tank Davis Martin fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Tank looked good, but he looks good versus the right opponents. If you look at his resume, his resume is okay, but a lot of the guys he beat were guys that were coming up, like Leo Santa Cruz, or guys that were already weight drained, or guys that weren't good movers, like Mario Barrios.
Yeah.
He didn't fight Tevin Farmer for a reason. Tevin Farmer could give him issues back then. And 2018, 2019, or actually before that, Lomachenko was in the mix to fight him, and they said no.
Right.
With that being said, I think Shakur Stevenson beats him. He could fight like William Zepeda, Denis Berinchik. There are other big names out there that he could fight, but yet for some reason he has yet to fight those names.
What do you think about
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you think about the beef with him and Devin Haney? What does that matchup look like to you?
I think that Devin still gives him issues because Devin can move. Devin lost to Ryan Garcia because it's easy to look good for someone that it's easy to lose to somebody that misses weight. Like for instance, in MMA at one point, guys that miss weight end up winning fights because they weren't weight drained. So when Ryan Garcia fought Oscar Duarte the fight before he fought Devin Haney, he missed weight then, winning the 143. Oscar Duarte was undefeated, never been dropped. But this time, Ryan Garcia comes in, stops him, and wins at 143. So the weight is different. Ryan Garcia is really a welterweight, in my opinion. 140 isn't for him.
Yeah.
I love it. Mo, I was there in Vegas. I was covering the boxing fight. It was electric. It was crazy out there. Benavidez was doing his thing in the co.
Yeah.
He looked great. He was all busted up. His hands were busted up into it. I liked what I saw, but to me, I know what you're saying about Tank. I was impressed with Tank. That knockout, he just has that special pop,
Well, it's great to have a special pop, but the thing is, if you look at the record, okay, so I have a homeboy named Lamar, who's Frank Martin's cousin.
Okay.
Frank Martin was a wrestler in high school. Started boxing at 18-19. So if you look at experience, there's a huge difference between experience. Leading into the fight, who did Frank Martin beat to earn the right to fight Gervonta? Because arguably he might have lost the last fight versus Haratunian, the Armenian.
Right.
So he really never truly earned the right to fight someone at that level.
No, I feel you. You had something, Maddie? You had next?
No, Elle asked the great question. No, all good. Great minds think alike, my friend. I love it. So, Mo, I have to ask. Chatter online talking about bare knuckle and King Mo. Can we hear more from the man himself? What's the deal with all of this bare knuckle chatter?
Just chatter. You know what I'm saying? I like bare knuckle. I watch it. I'm a fan of it. I've worked with a few bare knuckle athletes like Jamie Driver and Seth, my boy Seth, the body snatcher Schaefer. So I've worked with a few bare knuckle boxers. I'm a student of the sport. I love combat sports. I'm a student in all combat sports. So I just I'm a fan of it. That's all I can say right now.
Ooh, okay. I like it. What excites you the most about bare knuckle?
It's a 2-minute sprint.
Yeah.
You know, and two, like, you don't got to worry about leg kicks, people pulling guard, knee bars, arm bars. And the thing about it is, it's very primal. So everybody can relate to a fist fight.
Yeah.
Except the only difference is this fist fight doesn't get broke up until the referee steps in, or you take a knee, or you get counted out. That's the difference.
Yeah,
You,
it's savage.
I was gonna say, especially at ATT with Jorge, and I know you've been to a couple of shows with Dean Tool and doing that stuff. Have you seen, or are you interested at all in Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA, doing the bare knuckle with the MMA a part of it?
Shout out to Dean Tool. He's the man. Masvidal's the man. MMA is just kind of too hard, man. I got too many injuries. You know, I can handle boxing and bare knuckle, but MMA is a whole different animal when you're done with leg locks and elbows and knee bars. You know, I'm
too many
good,
weapons.
Yeah, I'm okay with watching it. I'd rather watch it.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm kind of, I can't handle that stuff right now.
I mean, you've had
you were on
years
the
of
mic for a couple of them, right?
Yeah, I was on the mic for one of them. Yeah, but it's very entertaining. Like, it's primal. Like, I honestly think that bare knuckles the next thing to blow up. Like, you know, it's a sprint. Like, the crowd, how can you boo a 2-minute round?
Right.
And then you get 1 minute rest. So think about this. It's 10 minutes of work, 4 minutes of rest. MMA is 15 minutes of work, about 2 minutes of rest. Title fights, you got 25 minutes of work, and you got, 3 minutes of rest? So, like, people going out there fatigued. Is it 4?
4 minutes, yeah.
In between 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Oh, yeah, 4 to 5. Yeah, 4 minutes of rest. So, like, at least with bare knuckle, it's a sprint. You get a minute break to recover, and then you get back to it.
Well, I got to ask about this. Tell us the Popeye story in Missouri. What is that about?
It wasn't Missouri. It was Mississippi. Mo, do you remember this story?
No, I don't remember. Which one?
It was me. It was actually me and you. Remember, it was Ethis, and it was 2 other fighters in the car. It was me, you, and 2 other fighters. They were cutting weight, and you were hungry, and I was driving you guys around.
Yeah. I love Popeye. I like turkey.
You wanted Popeye so bad, but you didn't want to get. Yeah, you didn't want to get food in front of the fighters who was cutting weight. It was very respectful.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But then we went back. You got like 2 hot and spicies, 2 regulars.
Yeah. 2 hot and spicy, 2 regulars. Yeah, that's my thing. When I go to Popeyes, I tear that thing up.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It was crazy. It was a good story. It was good. It was Mississippi.
Yeah.
That was out there.
This
is a good question too. Our guy Sean Sterling, he goes, "Oh, King Mo,
we're pressing the buttons, Dave." Got
King
it.
Mo, when you ever going to get in the wrestle ring again, back in TNA, make a special appearance?
I don't know about TNA unless they hit me up, but I like what they're doing. You know, I like the system. You know, I like the Broken Hardys. I still follow pro wrestling, so I like that. I like that whole. Yeah, I like what they're doing right now. You know,
you saw the Wyatt 6 last night?
No, I ain't watched it. I ain't watched it yet, but I heard about it though. Man. Yeah, I heard about it. But I like the fact that Impact is at TNA is back doing some cross promotion with WWE, because that's like originally AEW was doing that, the Forbidden Door with New Japan and with the TNA and other organizations, NOAH, but now the fact that the WWE is open to co-promoting with or cross-promoting with TNA Impact, that's great. It brings more exposure to the athletes.
Mo, me and you are in a separate conversation. The girls have no idea what we're talking about, but I love it, brother. With it.
I have a pro wrestling question.
Oh, let's go now.
Kind of. I was just going to say, you're one of the only athletes I think I've ever seen that tried to do, like you did, both careers simultaneously. Like you chased both at the same time. Like what was that like? Do you feel like it was difficult to train for both at the same time?
It was extremely hard to train for both because, you know, at times I had to go to Louisville, Kentucky to OVW with Al Snow and my boy Trailer Park Trash. Starting Frank Miller, TPT. Yeah. That's my dog. He's my coach. And Eugene, Nick Dismore. I worked with them 3. But then I have to be there for a month and go back to San Jose and train. So going back and forth is very hard because, like, my growth was stunted with the pro wrestling because MMA brought the money. But pro wrestling's fun. And I'm going to tell you this. It's hard. It's not easy. It's very, very hard. Hard in the body. And on top of that, it's hard to get over sometimes. Like what I mean by get over is like if you go out there and you wrestle and the crowd's not cheering or booing, you're trash.
Yeah.
Right.
I call it
If
the
they don't
Glacier. Remember
care.
Glacier? Remember WCW? Remember Glacier?
Yeah. No one gave a shit.
Nope. No one cared.
No one cared about him.
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
another
feel like you
question.
had
We got
more
our people.
injuries? Oh.
Oh, what else?
Oh, I said, do you feel like you have more injuries from pro wrestling or from MMA?
Well, oh man, it depends on your style. If you're a high flyer, you're good as done. If you have good people that can wrestle with you and take care of you, you're okay.
Yeah.
But there's some people out there that don't know what they're doing. They're doing pile drivers and like when you doing the wrong technique, not taking care of you. So it could be. They're both hard, except with MMA, you're protecting yourself. With pro wrestling, you're putting your life in the hands of somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Good question from our people right there. Brawl Energy. They
Hey,
go, how's
Brawl
Seth the
Energy.
Body Snatcher doing, Mo? We want to see him fight again.
Oh man, he's doing good, man. I think he's back. He's gonna be back in the mix soon. Let me take a sip of my Brawl Energy drink.
Let's go. I love it. What flavor do you have?
Good. That shit's good. What?
It's so good.
It's mango. This is good.
Mango.
That sounds better than great.
I could
Mine's
never
great.
mango. I'm
Well, that's
questionable
good.
about the grape, but mango sounds delicious.
Yeah, because it's mango season in Florida, so we had to get the mangoes.
Let's go. I dig it.
Hey, Mo gets the top gear. Dave at 5 Finals gets the second level. I respect it.
I respect it. Well, I know this isn't really a fight question, but I am fascinated by your hobby, I guess, of beekeeping.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about this? I'm fascinated by it. What got you into beekeeping? Where do you have the time?
During the pandemic, I was bored, so I got into fruit trees and growing stuff. So my boy said, Mo, if you want to get a bigger harvest, a bigger yield from your harvest, get some bees, honeybees. So I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. So I reached out to the Broward Beekeepers Association. You know what I'm saying? And I hit them up and I mentored. And I had a mentor named Jeff Chrissy, and I followed him around for 2 weeks. And then I started I got my own bee colony. And then a week after that, I got another one, and then I started catching them.
Wow.
At one point I had like 16 colonies in my backyard.
That is cool, man.
Wow.
Just King Mo out here just saving the earth with all the bees. I love this.
Getting stung up.
Do you have mango trees?
Yeah, I got 3, but they didn't produce this year from the drought.
Oh, bummer.
I was gonna say you got to bring some to the gym.
Oh,
Bring
yeah.
us some
Next
mango.
time, yeah. Next year I'm going to bring some next year. I got a bunch of I got like probably 17 or 18 like rare fruit trees. Like I got 2 different mangosteens. I got a jabuticaba. I got June plum, hog plum, loquat.
How much land do you have? Like how much land is this on?
It's probably like half. I don't know, not that much. I just bunch them in there. I don't know about space. I just know it's a pretty big backyard I got. I just started growing on star cherry. You know what I'm saying? Patomba, Gromutama, miracle berries. I got all sorts of stuff back there. Passion fruit, bananas, all that.
Anik and Florian's got like Ray Longo. Their minute man, fight man. We need King Mo on every week. Mo, like we can talk to you forever. Like we talked to you for 20 minutes. We haven't even talked about Yuri yet. Yuri and Alexis in 303. We haven't talked to you. We can talk to you forever, my man. But let's hit on that. Conor McGregor's out. It's like the biggest story in MMA. Everyone knew it was happening. Chandler's off the card. Alex and Yuri takes that spot. Of course, you got history with Yuri in that cage. What do you think about that rematch? I think Yuri's going to get the job done with the revenge factor and knowing what he has to do. Maddie and Elle both think Alex is going to go 2-0 on Yuri. What's your take on it, my man?
Well, the thing about Yuri is he's all action, no defense. So with Pereira, you can't afford to get kicked or hit the left hook. He is one of the most devastating strikers in the game right now. So if Yuri can use his movement more and be a little bit more defensively responsible, he can get the job done because he can overwhelm Pereira. I feel like he's a little quicker than Pereira, but Pereira has a faster release on his strikes. Yuri's also more awkward and he's hard to time. But if anyone's gonna time him, it's gonna be Pereira. With that being said, I'm not sure who's going to win because Yuri looked great beating Rakic, and Rakic is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But to your point, he took a lot of damage.
Yeah, he got hit a lot.
And
Yeah,
managed to persevere.
He got hit a lot, but I think maybe for the rematch, I think Yuri might make a change. You never know, because you don't want to be the same fighter. That goes into the rematch. You want to be a little different. You want to evolve. So I feel like the toss up. I favor Pereira, but at the same time, Yuri's a live dog, and Yuri could get the job done. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins.
Let's go. Let's
Sounds
go.
a lot like what I said. Just saying.
Mo's winning that fight. Yuri's winning that fight. All right, Jay says, ask King Mo, would you say brawl to you fall? Brawl energy.
Yeah, brawl till you fall. That's my motto.
Okay.
Brawl till you fall.
King Mo will be trying to start fights in the gym, I swear. I'll be having a perfectly fine sparring session with Natalia. She'll be being real nice to me. And he'll be over there and be like, hey, Scrappy, beat her up.
Not trying to be mean, but the thing is, I'm trying to encourage my athletes to do more and to because with sparring, all I'm thinking about is hey, it's a simulation of what you might see in the future fight that you're training for. So go out there and try new things. So I try to encourage Scrappy, who's my Ukrainian pit bull, to try different things. I haven't tried with her striking, because a lot of times she's judo heavy, but I'm like, work your striking, because there might be a time where you might not be able to take this girl down with judo. You might have to put hands on her and then take her down. So I want them to evolve. Anyone that I'm dealing with or I'm working with, I want to make sure they're a different fighter come the next fight.
I like that.
Such a good point. I remember there's another King Mo story. He probably doesn't even know this. In Biloxi, Mississippi, Kayla Rocco was fighting. Yep. King Mo was in her corner. And man, I'm telling you guys, it's a beautiful little place in Biloxi. King Mo is screaming at the top of his lungs. All you wanted Kayla was to do is to jab. You're like, jab!
Yeah. She was shooting takedowns. I'm like, you're a boxer. I'm like, and her corner was saying she wants a box fighter. I'm like, Kayla, give her what she wants. Give her them hands.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, jab, yelling at the top of your lungs.
That girl can box.
Yeah. She's
Kayla's got great hands.
But she was shooting takedowns and double legs from far out. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to lose this fight?
Yeah, she was grapple. Remember Emily King?
Yeah, when she threw hands with Emily, she did work, but then she tried to take her down and she got reversed and swept.
Crazy. Mo, we know you're busy, man. We're gonna let you run. We got other stuff on the show. Like I said, hey, we gotta talk to you more often. Anytime you want to come on, we'd love to have you on, man.
Any type of fight breakdowns, boxing breakdowns, bare knuckle breakdowns. Holler at me. I got it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Sounds good,
nice
brother.
Combo.
Appreciate your time.
David.
Yes, sir. All right.
Thanks, Coach.
There we go. King Mo in the building, man. Much love to him. Dude, he is awesome. He's awesome.
He's great.
He's like, he knows it all.
He's got amazing analysis too. I know he does some stuff with live train and things like that, but I feel like he's an unsung hero of the analysis. People don't realize how knowledgeable he is.
Well, we got to bring him on more. Give him the spotlight.
I'm telling you.
Let him do his thing.
Maybe a little Ray Longo minute. Instead of Ray Longo, it's King Mo minute. It's the Mo minute.
The Mo
minute. Let's go. I'm here for that.
Then Alex smokes him again. Should have had Ankalaev step in for this one. No, I'd rather watch Alex versus Yuri 5 times.
Literally 5. I would watch it over and over again.
Ankalaev. He's an amazing fighter, but it's really boring. And I don't think they want him in that spot either, because he's kind of boring.
Yeah. Well, I have to go pick up the puppy from the vet. She's getting fixed today. I know, TMI. Oh well, but that's all right. But yeah, great show, guys. Next hour is gonna be killed. I'm so jealous that you guys get to talk to Dakota, the star of PFL. That girl.
Do you want Ross to come on to talk to Dakota?
I do not want Ross to come on, because listen. You can tell Dakota this, okay? You can tell.
Is Ross crushing on Dakota?
So hard. But it's but I am too. So it's that girl is so talented. And
dude,
Ross is a striker.
So good.
We're a striking family, okay? Yeah. And so watching her and her IQ and just her ability in general, she's special. She's special for sure. It's only a matter of time before she's in the UFC.
Does she win? She wins the PFL championship, Maddie, right now?
1,000%.
Yeah, me too.
1,000%.
I'm not impressed with Liz Carmouche or Talia Santos. I thought I would be more. I wasn't last week. And Dakota just looks so crisp. She looks like in her
I feel like she hasn't even been challenged yet, which is like I feel like we haven't even seen her full potential yet. And that's scary. That's scary. So you can tell her I said that, and we're not.
I will definitely say that Ross Levine is a huge fan of you, Dakota. I mean, the Levine.
No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, I am such a big fan of her.
So Maddie, you look amazing today, by the way. You look great.
Very tan. You're glowing. You're tanner than I am, and you live in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, it is summertime, baby. It is 80s this week. I have been outside. I have a crazy sunburn. Thank God for bronzer. It is what it is. Like, summertime in New England is top tier. Okay, it's top tier. So if you guys ever want to stop by, let me know.
Top show by Maddie Levine. Top end show by Maddie Levine. Top her out.
Thank you. All right. I will see you all soon. Sunday, make sure you are on the Fight Bananas pages with me and Elle Sunday morning, 10 a.m. It's going to be lit. Okay.
The Real Housewives of Fight Bananas.
Yes. Love that shit.
New name of the show.
There. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Later, Maddie. That's the best, dude. She's the best.
She was on one today. On one.
She was incredible. Like, I wish, can someone out there in the Fight Bananas, like, can you just cut up like the best Maddieisms in the first hour and just send it to me on my socials? I will pay someone to do that. Dawson, can you do that for me? Just Maddie was on fire for the first hour. Just send it to me. And send a blank check. I'll pay you. It was incredible. What a show by Maddie Levine. Incredible.
Killed it.
All right. So we got 24 minutes until the great Dakota Ditcheva comes on the show. So much to talk about. Still, I feel like we got into a lot of it, but still more to get into. What was the thing that you took away from King Mo the most from that little tidbit of his?
Oh, I loved hearing his a kind of appreciation for Jake Paul. I feel like it's a very hot take among fighters to give Jake Paul his flowers, even though we really should to an extent, like, yes, he is not fighting the best boxers in boxing right now, but there's a reason for that. And that's because the guy's only been boxing for a few years. And these guys have been boxing since they were 5, and he's still a good boxer. Like, he's doing very well. Like, he is in a unique position where most guys who are starting out in boxing would not be in the spotlight that he is in. And so I think it's interesting to see where he's going to go. Should he beat Mike Perry? And I think a lot of people do think he may. So what's next for him after that? Like, that's a huge notch in your belt, because Mike Perry's still active compared to, Silva and Tyrone Woodley and people who are not active anymore, that were not active in their sport anymore. Like, Perry's still winning.
It's funny you say that, El. The Paul versus Tyson fight is happening in Dallas Cowboy Stadium, regardless of win and loss of this fight.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. If he loses to Mike Perry, I don't think his stock goes down, because his value isn't in his boxing. His value is in his platform, like his public figureness. So.
But I talked to someone really close to the Mike Perry circle. Not going to give names, right? We keep sources tight. This is big for Mike. If he 100%. Wins this fight, the next fight for Mike Perry, guys, you can argue could be Conor McGregor, could be Floyd Mayweather, could be Nate Diaz, could be Jorge Masvidal, right? He keeps going up. If he loses this fight, he kind of has to go back to the bare knuckle FC thing and fight another retired UFC guy.
Where he's king. Like, it's a win-win situation for both guys, in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's going to be Tampa, Florida, right down the road from Fight Bananas headquarters. L. Dawson wants to fight me on the Fight Bananas headquarters. It's going to happen here in Daytona Beach, Florida, okay?
Why do you live so far away? Move like an hour and a half closer so I can come more often.
I have 4 kids, L. Okay, there's no moving kids,
and they would love to live in Coconut Creek.
That is true. Dude,
right on
they would just watch Star Wars with Grant all the time. That's what we would do.
They could come over. I'll babysit. It's a great idea.
Done.
You save a fortune on childcare.
Can we just buy like a 6-bedroom mega house with an elevator in it?
Hey, if you let us live there for free,
no. All you have to do is babysit.
You don't have to pay rent. Babysit.
We'd have a pool with a slide in it.
That's all great.
Right, enough about this, guys. Enough about this. So that was Jake. That was really cool. Shout out to Volusia County. I agree, Ray. Shout out. Gosh, what else I had? Oh, okay. Did you watch the UFC this past weekend? I was at the boxing match. I didn't really see anything of it. What do you?
No, I got to watch. I mean, there were some really good fights. Honestly, I kind of want to pull up the card because I've slept since then. So, Tatsuro Taira is a problem. He's a freaking.
He's so good, man. So good.
I think it's kind of funny. I thought that Muhammad Makhachev was going to be like the guy. And I kind of had like Tatsuro Taira hadn't like had his like super big moment yet. Like he was dominating guys, but it wasn't like he hadn't been like super tested yet. And then they both fought the same guy and Taira won in dominating fashion while, Muhammad Makhachev had a really close fight with Alex Perez. And I don't think he's ready for that next step. Taira, I think is.
He's 24 years young.
That's insane.
24. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would think he's got one more. He's probably, you ready for this one? I'm calling it right now. Mokaev and Kopp doesn't fight. One of those guys will fall out. They always do. And I think Taira jumps into that spot. Winner of that fights for the championship.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. Like when we look at the rankings, Pantoja's beat almost everybody. So that fight makes the most sense.
And I think that's a good fight. Pantoja and Taira. I think that's something cool.
Yeah. No, there were actually a lot of good fights. Brady Highstand and Garrett Armfield was a really fun fight.
What happened with that?
Both those guys can breathe out of their buttholes because they were both in submission. Like both almost got finished, but just a really solid.
So we're making that into a clip in Fight Bananas land where they both breathe out.
Hey, turtles can breathe through their butts, so. That's a thing. That's an actual thing. Anyway, there were some good ones. There were some good ones.
In Kaikar, France, UFC 305. It's already booked. Sean, breaking news. If you want to break it, if you want, it's already done. I got the scoop. So there you go.
Let's go. Let's go. You know who else? There was a women's flyweight fight. And this girl comes up and she's 3-1 and she's fighting in the UFC. And my brain was immediately, why do I know what?
Turtles breathe out of their butts. How do you know that?
I went to school for biology. I took a couple marine biology classes. I don't even know if that's a real thing that I like actually learned or if that's just something I read somewhere. So don't quote me on that. That part of my life is all mushed together. That was in the past. But anyway, Carly Judice is a savage. This girl's 3-1, and I was prepared to do my normal trash talk about people getting into the UFC too early. Mm-hmm. She has some things to learn. Like she definitely slowed down, but that girl can strike. And I thought she won that fight. I thought she absolutely beat Fernandez. And I want to see that girl fight over and over again. Like her kickboxing was crisp and she is not scared of anything. Like I absolutely am a fan of Carly Judice after that fight. Nice. You need to go back and watch that. That was a fun one.
Okay, so I got to watch that. And I got to watch Brad and the other guy breathe out of their butt. Okay.
Brad Haston and Garrett Armfield. Melky Costa, beautiful submission.
I like him a lot. He's so always fun. Yeah.
He's so good. There's a lot of guys like him that I feel like just aren't quite getting their recognition yet. Like they've had big moments, but like they're not quite on like the everybody's radar. And I think he's close. Like he's definitely in that. He's going to get a really big matchup next. I think he's due for like a big moment.
Talking about a big moment, how about Fight Bananas family? Someone close to really L. Dawson. How about Johnny Eblin main eventing over there in London against Fabian Edwards once again?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Love that for him, man. I think he's just in such a good spot. I do think Johnny would like to maybe eventually like see where everything goes. Like I would love to see him in the UFC. I hope he wants to go to the UFC because I think so many of us.
Wait! Breaking news!
I didn't say anything. I said I hope he wants to go to the UFC. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does, but I hope he does because I think that there's really exciting fights for him there. You know, I think he's already beaten Fabian. He beat Impa. I did not say that. Delete. You're going to get me in trouble. I said no such thing.
I'm just playing.
I would love to see Johnny Evelyn in the UFC. You can put that in the banner.
Okay.
But I really would because I feel like he's beaten some of the best guys over there, you know?
And him and Sean Strickland, I hear, just kick the shit out of each other all the time.
100%, yes.
Yeah, and like
I don't know if they would probably fight each other. Like I feel like they're both the kind of guy that like it's just business, you know, even though they're friends, but they are very similar people, like for sure. Yeah. I feel like they get along really well. I remember Johnny showing up to the fighter hotel during Grant and Dustin's fight week. I was like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm going to spar Sean Strickland." I'm like, "The fight's in 4 days." He's like, "Yeah, he wants to spar." Like that's something else. Sean Strickland is something else. But I feel like the other fight that was really exciting for him over there was Nemkov, but Nemkov went up to heavyweight. Yeah. So I don't know that fight makes much sense anymore because Johnny's not a heavyweight. Like,
no.
So I don't know if Nemkov is planning to come back down to 205. So it's, I think Johnny beats most of the guys over there.
Of course. I agree. For Johnny's sake, and Fight Bananas and myself, we're fans of Johnny Evelyn. I hope he goes to the UFC. It is what it is. It's time. I think his brand would rise, big time. And especially if he would get wins over Sean Strickland or Dricus du Plessis, like he would be a major, major name in the industry. Not like he's not already, but like he's winning big fights. But like, it's on Bella. I think it's on HBO Max. I think it's like it's just so hard. It's on the Bellator Championship Series. I don't know. What'd you say?
It's on HBO. Okay.
Yeah, HBO Max.
I have that.
Yeah.
I won't have to download it.
Grant's watching Batman and Superman.
Better than DAZN. Like when stuff's on DAZN, I'm like nothing else is on DAZN. At least HBO Max also has Justice League. Like I'm gonna pay for that anyway.
I agree. Man, I had something else for you. You're at American Top Team. King Mo's there. Best gym in the world. We just saw Dustin Poirier talk to Ariel Helwani. Is there any word on the street? Anything? What's your gut telling you about what Dustin Poirier? Where is he leaning right now?
I have no idea. I genuinely don't know, and I don't know that he knows either. I've heard no definitive news on that. I think he's in a spot, like obviously it's super tough. He gave Islam a hell of a fight and, just came up short. And it's, I'm sure that's a tough thing to deal with, but I also think he is a very grateful guy, knows he's very blessed, has a beautiful family, successful businesses. So he is really, at the end of the day, he's in a good spot where he's such a legend of the sport. He can always fight and make money. But I feel like after hearing him say, like, what am I fighting for? Like, if I'm not going to ever fight for a title again, is it worth, he's spoken out a little bit about head issues and the risk that he runs by continuing to let himself take damage, which I understand, I don't think anybody expects any more from Dustin Poirier than he has already given us. Like, he has given the fans so many incredible fights. Like, yeah, you could say he's leaving money on the table, Ray, but the dude has that money and he's making it in other areas just as much, so he doesn't need that money. I think there's a time where it's like, okay, well now my family and my brain is more valuable to me than continuing in that. But Sean, I missed this from Sean. Evelyn should have got himself into the PFL tournament and took the mill. I don't think they would have let him. I think they are very, I don't know. I'm assuming that if Johnny had an opportunity to fight in that tournament, he probably would have said yes. I don't think that was his decision. I could have imagined.
Keep the comments
'Cause
going.
they are
We'll answer some.
technically
Dakota's coming in 8 minutes. Here's my one thing about what Dustin Poirier, guys, what Elle kind of just said. I love doing this show, right? But I could be with my kids right now. But if I had $5 million, the one thing where I can kind of go back and forth, I'm not getting punched in the face. Like, we're talking. Like, I could always say, guys, I could do this show a couple hours a day. I'll be at home. The money is all that. People don't realize the toll on a body, and especially, guys, especially the brain and being concussed and being knocked out numerous of times in life and in training and sparring. Like, and Dustin said it a couple times, like, enough's enough. Like, I gave my body enough to the sport. Like, you're like, yeah, I know it sounds maybe I'm on this side of it. I don't think he ever fights again. I really don't. I just don't.
I wouldn't. Yeah, of course, it's always great to see him fight. He's never like he's one of the most exciting fighters in the sport.
He's the best.
But I would like to see him retire and get to go on vacation with his family whenever he wants. And Sean's right. Like, he's got his hot sauce, he's got his whiskey. He has way more businesses than just that. Like, the dude is killing it on the business, scape. He doesn't need to fight.
No, Keelan, I agree. It really does. And that's what he's scared about. He was talked about it. He was very vocal about, like, he doesn't know who he is outside of fighting. And it's kind of scary. Yeah. And he was realistic about it, which is very open and honest. But
we've heard Volk say the same thing. Like, Volkanovski was like, man, I just don't like, I'm not happy when I'm not in fight camp. It's a lot of fighters go through that. Like, that's a really scary revelation.
Ray, I'm telling you, man, if Dustin would fight again, it's not against Conor. Like, he doesn't want to go through that drama. Like, when you're that rich and you can be so precise on who you do fight, maybe for one last time, you're not going through the Conor drama. And, dude, what if Conor pulls out? What happened if Dustin is not going through a whole 4-month camp for Conor to pull out?
Being away from his family to risk Conor being hurt or just
doesn't do it.
Hosting him. Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't do it. Like, I think the only fight, I feel like there's 2 fights maybe ever Dustin does again. One is like the Max Holloway thing. Like, one, look at that, Keelan. Max Holloway,
that makes sense.
A BMF, somehow like a pay-per-view gets made up, or like they need this fight. They overpay Dustin. Like, here, Dustin, here's $15 million, one night, last fight ever. Or, let's be honest, if the lightweight championship, something happens, if it's like Makhachev and Arman gets hurt, or the vice versa, if Islam gets hurt and it's like an interim and they're like, Dustin, you can fight for this belt, and we need you one night only thing. That's it.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
Cool. Once a fighter starts talking about retirement, the singles, to me, they're done. Poirier has nothing left to prove in the sport. I like Poirier to stay on the sidelines. He's provided us all some incredible fights, and we should be grateful for his witness. Chris, I agree. Well said.
Yeah.
Christopher James, a phenomenal writer. Dude, when are you writing for FightBananasOfficial.com, man? Let's get you back on the writing aspect.
That should be an article right there. That's the intro.
I know. I'm copying and pasting it. That's good stuff right there. Let's go. Talking about it, we said it Monday night, Cage Side with Christopher James. You're watching right now, guys. Fight Bananas Show live on Tuesdays. Tuesday nights, I believe it's 8:30. Boxing Bananas is back on Tuesday nights. Wednesday night, me and you were back. Ben and Bananas. It's been like 2 weeks, I believe. I cannot wait.
I know. I'm itching for a banana bet. I'm gonna come in fighting. I'm gonna come in fighting tomorrow, Dave. Dude, anything you say, even if I agree with you, I'm just gonna be like, that's trash.
All right. I think I got Bobby Knuckles in the main event. Just giving you a heads up.
All right.
I looked at the main card again. The main card's awesome. It's a very good main card.
Also, can we just talk about how wild it would be if Ikram Aliskerov beats Robert Whittaker in, what is this, his 3rd UFC fight? 4th? Is this 3rd?
Dude, your fingers are really long and skinny. Do that again. Do the 3 again.
They're normal fingers. I have very small hands.
Like,
this is.
Am I wrong, people?
Dave, did you smoke today?
No.
What are you doing?
Jeez, Ella's starting to get some mad. I agree, Sean. I'm feeling it too right now.
I had to fill the void. She left. when she
Maddie
signed
was
off
on
today.
one. Maddie was on fire today. So wait. So you think Ingram is his only third UFC fight?
I'm pretty sure it's either his third or his fourth. He fought what's his face?
He
My
lost to
favorite
Strickland,
fighter, Phil
right?
Hawes. No. He beat Warley Alves and he beat Phil Hawes too. And he
beat
lost
Phil
to
Hawes.
Chimaev outside the UFC, but and I know it was a very short fight. It was only like a 2.5 minutes into the first round, but Chimaev could not take him down. He knocked out Ikram, but he tried to wrestle him and was unsuccessful.
Wow.
So Ikram is a very well-rounded fighter. I will say, like, he's not afraid to engage. And so he does like get hit sometimes. Like Phil Hawes kind of rocked him, but it didn't matter. He came back and extra rocked Phil Hawes. So how nuts would it be? He goes out, beats Bobby Knuckles in his third UFC fight. He might get a title shot off that. Like, how insane would that be? That's Alex Pereira status right there. But he doesn't have Alex Pereira's kickboxing background and prowess. So like, it'd be nuts if that happened.
Imagine in like 2 weeks' time that Ikram and Diego Lopez can both be number one contenders.
Dude, that's wild.
That's another guy. In his first fight, he lost in the UFC, and he's still the number one guy in the one of the best divisions in the UFC. It's amazing. That's one reason why I love MMA and especially the UFC. You can, in 1 year time, you can really go from kind of like a prelim guy to main event in a pay-per-view. It's amazing.
I gotta bring up Sean's. He said he can't pass Strickland for a title shot. I disagree. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in MMA. If he goes out there and starches Robert Whittaker in round 1 and gets and says something crazy on the mic, anything can happen. Should he? Maybe not. But I absolutely could see that happening. If they can make a big fight.
Can he talk English at all?
Yeah, he speaks English.
He does?
Not like fluently, but pretty well. I don't know what his I've never really heard him talk smack or anything, but he did call out Bo, which was really bizarre because they both train at ATT. But he did do that. So maybe he's got a few tricks up his sleeves for the media. How about Bo Nickel being in Montana and missing out on the Whittaker fight?
Chris, I the same thing. I was lucky enough to be around someone that when all this stuff was happening, this is fake news. I hate saying that term. It's such a bad term in a weird way. The UFC was never, ever, it wasn't even 1% they were going to make Whittaker and Bo Nickel. It wasn't an option.
That fight doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for Bo. It doesn't make sense for the division.
They talked to another guy. It could have been another guy, but Ikram made a lot of sense, and that's the thing they want. And to me, it's a really good fight. It's a really good main event, and they keep going. The Bo
Whittaker
Nickel
didn't even know who Ikram was. So I do kind of. I said Whittaker said he'd never heard of Ikram before when they announced the fight.
I don't believe.
I don't either. I think it's a power move.
Yeah,
but
no. So Chris, I don't want to say Bo lied, but there's levels of the truth. Maybe you were told something that wasn't all the way truth, or maybe Bo said that he would have taken the fight. There's just levels of the truth. What I'm telling you is that I heard the UFC was not going to make Whittaker versus Bo. It wasn't an option. So
you also have to think about the fact that there's management teams in between this.
Yes,
there's a chain of command. So how many times a manager, even our manager might call Grant and be like, I think that this fight is falling out and that you could replace this guy. He thinks they're going to offer it and then they don't. That happens too. So maybe Bo's manager was busting his chops trying to I think we can make this fight happen. We're going to push for you to get this opportunity. And then it just didn't, it didn't pan out. Maybe they told the manager, maybe, it's a complicated, process that a lot of things come out for sure. I heard they reached out to just about everybody in the last week, Sean. Like I heard everybody got called about the Conor fight. Everybody got called about the Whitaker fight. Everybody got called about Jamal Hill pulling out. So I think that's been quite a busy week for the matchmakers.
Yeah. And like you said, they literally made the Ortega and Diego Lopez fight out of nowhere. Like that fight didn't replace the fight. They just were like, hey, we're losing Conor. We need to add a really good fight. We're losing Jamal and Oberg. They added Anthony Smith. Like a lot of stuff happened. There was just a lot of moving parts happen.
And Diego Lopez is another insane one besides Ikram. Like he's had a handful of UFC fights and obviously has been an absolute stud. Minus his loss to Movsar where he still looked really competitive. But like the dude very well may have a title shot in the next 6 months. If he beats Brian Ortega, like that makes a lot of sense. And that's some really exciting fresh blood in the featherweight division too.
Talking about an absolute stud, Miss Elle Dawson. Let's talk to a undefeated fighter, 7-0 under the PFL banner, 12-0, got a first round knockout past Thursday. And for the PFL, she's been on the show before. She's friends with Miss Elle Dawson. So she's friends here with Fight Bananas. Let's welcome her back, Dakota Ditcheva, to the show.
Hello, guys.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What a freaking performance. Absolutely. Like
Dakota, you're the best, dude. We're all massive fans of you. Maddie was hosting the first hour. Her husband, Ross Levine, is the Karate Combat middleweight champion. He just retired. They both wanted to let you know they are massive fans of you. They just love your kickboxing and your striking skills. So we're massive fans, Dakota.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good to see you back in Florida. Are you happy that you didn't have to fly across the pond this time? It was all here at home.
I am definitely happy that I'm just straight back here. I feel like this is home now. Like I said to my mum in fight week, I feel like really settled here. Like I can't wait to get back to my apartment all the time, which is a good thing. It's how I wanted to feel here. So I'm happy.
Hey, no, we love that. We love having you here.
Thank you.
Before we go, I do want to rewind for a second, but I do want to come first is Dean Toole says come box for Game Bread Boxing. Dean, all right. Can we talk to Dakota for a second, Dean? She's about to be the PFL 2-time world champion, about to be a multi-millionaire. All right, relax, Dean. We do know your next fight's going to be in Nashville, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Nashville. I just want to give you a heads up. We will be there in the building. We are pumped. Fight Bananas, myself, we will be there. We cannot wait. Hell, if you want to come, you can come.
Yes.
If you want to.
Just let me out. I'll be there.
Okay, there you go. We will both be there in the building then. There you go. We are so pumped. It's insane. Do you like how you already know like how the final four are? You're the number 1 seed. You already have your matchup and you got Santos and Liz underneath. You like how you already see what's in front of you?
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, it doesn't make a difference because whoever they give me, I'm going to get in and fight. So to me, I wasn't really bothered. But yeah, it's good to know who you're kind of facing next. And I'm actually excited for the other fight as well. I think it's a really good matchup for Liz and Talia too. And I'm just excited to see who finally makes it to the final.
I love that.
It's gonna be a good time. I want to talk on you were on Ariel's show this week and you talked about like people just constantly saying you haven't been tested. Obviously, you had a very seasoned kickboxing opponent in your last fight, and she was quite skilled on the feet. Like, and you still got it done. Do you feel like no matter who you beat, it's going to be the same story, or do you feel like there's a name that people want to see you finish, and then that'll be the end of it?
No, I think honestly it'll just always be like that. Everyone will just be like, oh, she's not fought this person yet though. She's not fought that person yet. And I suppose I feel bad for the people that I fight against because like obviously Chelsea's like trying to make her own, career out of the sport. She's a serious fighter and people were just basically saying she was a can and like, she's like a nobody and really like it's disrespecting her because she is a good fighter. She's obviously a world champion in Thai boxing as well. But I think I don't know what else I have to do. Like I saw Vasquez in the tournament. She fought the girl that I had in the first round and she didn't stop her in the first round. She went to the second. So it's like, I'm still like proving that I'm, up there and showing the same skill level as the guys that people respect. So I don't know why I don't get that level as well, but that's fine with me. Like, I'm just going to keep going, stay quiet, and just do my thing in the cage.
Well, Dakota, you get it here with Fight Bananas. We love you. We appreciate you. We get nothing but praise. We are Dakota people here at Fight Bananas. My kind of question for you is, you know, the body shot. The body shot was absolutely dynamic. That was the one to put it away. For me, for you, is it more satisfying to kind of get that body shot? Does it matter to you? Is it ever a head kick or a knockout to the face? Or when you do get that body shot, it's like, oh, that was it. That felt good. Did you know that it was over? And is it satisfying to end a fight on a kind of a body shot? Oh no! My question was so good it froze. You know.
See if we get her. We can get her back. Bring her back up. Oh no! Ugh. It was satisfying for me to watch, in case you were wondering, Dave.
It was so good too. Like you could just tell, like she like aimed. It was like doom right to the body.
Perfectly placed, and her body work has been phenomenal across the board. So it's always great to see it. Maybe we'll see if she can hop back on, and we'll get her back in.
Dakota back on.
Well, Keelan's question: become the Michael Bisping of women's UK MMA. Dude, she just said it. She's a Florida girl now.
Yeah.
She's a Florida girl.
This side of the pond.
Not even UK anymore.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. I'm going to Nashville for the PFL.
Yeah, me too. No way.
Okay.
Crazy story. What's the date? Let me put that in my calendar while we're here. Let's plan a trip, dude.
All right, dude. Look at this. We're live on air and we're planning a trip.
This is the ultimate behind the scenes, guys. This is our business meeting.
August 2nd is the date itself. Her fight is August 2nd.
PFL Hollywood
Day, July 31st.
PFL Nashville.
All right, let's see.
Sorry, wait. What about July 31st? You said August 2nd is the show, right?
Yeah, August 2nd is the fight itself. Media day is July 31st.
Okay, so that's in my calendar now. So yeah, so I might be gone every single weekend in July.
Look at
I might be gone every single week in July.
You are world famous, Elle Dawson, guys. The boss of Fight Bananas.
Now everybody's gonna know.
Dawson wants to go. Keelan wants to go.
Vacation in August.
Dean Toole's like, come box for damn
like a Fight Bananas reunion. Oh, I think we got her back.
Let's see.
Maybe. Come on. Keelan said, I think I'm free. All right, everybody's taking a vacation in Nashville in August. That's the consensus.
Chris goes, I want to go. Everyone wants to go. Fight Bananas. It was going to be me, and now we're going to go 6 deep. We see Dakota popped in, but it's dark.
Blank. Oh no. I'll text her.
Dude, she's the best. She really is the best.
She's such a sweet person too. Very humble, very very hardworking. Like,
dude, we're gonna have oh, here she comes. She's coming. There we go. Dakota.
Oh, sorry, we both hit the button at the same time.
Guys, I think my phone just overheated. It's that warm in Florida.
Oh no. It is really hot out. It is so hot.
It's so hot.
I'm back. Sorry, guys.
No worries at all. No worries at all. I don't know if you heard the question. The question was, how satisfying was it to land that body shot to end the fight? Is that kind of one of the most satisfying ways to end a fight for you?
I think so. I mean, not as satisfying as a knockout clean for me, for sure.
Okay.
But it does make me feel good. Yeah. It's a shot like I drill all the time in the gym, and it's like a shot that I finished a fight last year with the same shot. So my fight before. So it's like it's just nice to be able to switch things up. I feel like I've had stoppages in different ways, and that's like a really successful one for me. So it's definitely one I'm quite proud of. Yeah.
Do you feel like more precision is required for you to like get that really clean body shot, or for you to get a really clean walk-off KO?
Probably a little bit of both, to be honest. I think like if you watch my fights from maybe say 2 years ago, my fight IQ and like the shots I was choosing probably wasn't as clean as what I've got now. And I think that's just because like I slow a lot of things down and like I'm more precise. So I think the body shot is definitely something you have to see. Like, it's not always open. So I feel like it's just as it's a shot that I have to think about just as much as I would for a KO or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So how the playoffs are set up, you're the 1 seed. We know the 4 seed. And we already mentioned kind of the 2 and the 3 is Liz Carmouche and Santos. And we already talked about, God willing, win this one, we'll be in the championship. And all I've been hearing over the last last week since the last fight is like, hey, wow, we can't wait for Dakota to be in the finals against a good grappler, a good wrestler. If it's Liz or Santos, oh, she's got to finally fight a good wrestler, good grappler. And I'm sorry, we are very pro Dakota here. I'm sorry we're going to make you blush so much, but we are. I'm sick of hearing that. Like, I want to reverse it. Santos or Liz Carmouche has to fight a striker. They got to fight Dakota. The fight does start standing up. Are you tired of hearing that, or have you heard that as much as we have at Fight Bananas? Like, they keep on saying you got to grapple. They have to strike with you first, Dakota. Am I right or wrong on this?
Yeah, that is literally what I say as well. Like, every fight stays stood up. And as well, like, why is no one talking about how scared they should be of my striking rather than me scared of their groundwork? But I mean, to me, it's fine because I take every fight serious and I know the level of their grappling. So if they want to, I speak about their grappling like everybody else does. So, for me, I never underestimate anything. And I just kind of base my fight off the fact that, like, there's going to be a good grappler. They're going to try and take me down. So that's fine. Like, that's kind of what makes me perform good on the night. So if they don't want to think the same of my striking, that's fine. They'll get a shock.
100%. Yeah. And obviously you have a great grappler in Jenna Bishop as well. I don't think she has the wrestling that Liz Carmouche has, but she certainly has great jiu-jitsu. What did you see in her fight that you feel like you need to be careful of, or specifically that you think you can possibly exploit?
Yeah, her grappling level is definitely, top notch. Like, I've heard about her just in the jiu-jitsu competitions, like fighting aside. So I know that that's kind of going to be the area that she tries to go to for sure. But I was quite impressed with the fact that she still caught Tyler or Talia with a lot of stand-up shots, a lot of striking. So I only really caught little bits because I was warming up. But from what I saw, she was game. She was going forward on the front foot. So I know that she is going to come and still try and strike, but I need to watch it all properly. But I mean, as long as I get in there thinking the same thing every time, that they can strike, they can wrestle, and they can grapple, I'll be prepared for everything, I think.
Love it.
Of course, yeah.
I got 1 or 2 more for you. I know probably Elle has another one for you too, Dakota. We really do appreciate your time here. I know I saw a lot on your media week for the PFL. And like I said, we are very, very excited to see you out there in Nashville and to talk to you and meet you in person. They kept on talking about you and being kind of a little bit of the face of especially the females and the female flyweight division, and maybe even honestly as the PFL as a whole. We don't know what's going to happen with Francis. We don't know what's going to happen with Jake Paul. Kayla Harrison has moved on to the UFC. You are becoming a big, big star for the PFL. And I know it sounds like you want that to a certain extent, but you want to fight. You want to be a fighter. You're a fighter. You sometimes shy away from some media stuff. You just want to kind of get in there, do your job, and get out. But with you just keep on winning fights, of course, more media stuff will happen for you. Are you okay with that? Do you accept that will happen to you in your career? You keep on winning fights, you're going to be an undefeated sensation like you are, that the media type will keep on going forward for you.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but it's not something that I would change it if I could.
Okay, so you would be like,
I would let go of a lot of the media if I didn't have to do it, but I'll totally accept that it comes with kind of with the sport and everything, like I was co-main event this time, so I had a lot more media duties than normal. And I mean, if you want to be co-main event, you have to accept that, right? And a lot of fighters dream of being in positions that I am, so I have to be really grateful that they're even giving me them opportunities. But I always say this, I don't know whether people believe me, but it's never been a dream of mine to be famous or to be like you know, all over the media and things like that. I just wanted to be a fighter. Like, that's literally it. Make money, set my family for life, and just be a good fighter, or the number one, should I say. So the media and stuff like that still doesn't appeal to me, even Instagram, things like that. I'm quite good on socials. I keep up with my accounts and things, but it's not something that I enjoy. It's just something that I'm getting used to over time. And I do moan a lot in the background, like very quietly, sometimes to myself as well, like, oh, I don't want to do this media, I don't want to do that. But I enjoy it when I do it. And I like to, you know, I think people enjoy like watching me and my family in fight week because we're quite bubbly. And I think that's why they tend to push me a lot as well, is because I'm like quite happy during fight week, whereas a lot of people are cutting weight and really like moody and sad. So they tend to use me a lot. So yeah, I mean, it's an entertainment sport, right? So I have to be able to show a personality as well as fighting, and I totally understand that.
Speaking on your family, obviously, like we talked last time you were on the show about how close you are. Your mom's obviously a kickboxing career. She was very successful in the sport, and your brother Cody has been in your corner. Has he been in your corner every single fight since you started? Is that a new arrangement? Like, obviously he's been. I've seen him on Instagram. He wants to be a coach. He's holding pads for lots of guys. How did he get into your corner?
Yeah, Cody's always been in my coach. So my mum and my brother kind of were there for my whole Thai boxing career. They were my only coaches, as well as the other ones at my English gym. And then when I moved over to MMA, I still had my brother in my corner for that, even though my MMA coaches then stepped in. So that's kind of like the one piece that I hold. Even my mum, she's still very involved, but my brother being there all the time is the one piece that I keep the same and have like throughout every step of the way. And yeah, he comes over to do some of my camps still. This time he came over for like the last 3 weeks to work with me at ATT. And yeah, it just fits in really well. Like, I still keep that piece of home, that bit of, you know, I think it's more of a mental thing as well, like having the same support and the same person right from the beginning, kind of merging with my new team has been like seamless. So yeah, I do love that part.
That's awesome. Yeah. Do you feel like the family is going to follow suit and come to Florida eventually as well, or are they pretty rooted?
No, I think probably they would be up for moving. Definitely someplace warm, that's for sure. And Florida's like the perfect place. So I'll work on it. For sure.
I love it. I love it. Good question here from the fans here. Fight Bananas, Dawson. Would you rather cardio train in the heat or main event media during fight week?
Main event media for sure.
There we go. All right.
Nothing's worse than cardio.
We don't want cardio. We do enough of that stuff in our normal day-to-day working.
There we go. I love it. I love it. Elle, if you don't have anything else, you know, don't want to keep Dakota. We really do. We appreciate you. We have nothing but love and respect for you here at Fight Bananas. Elle, you have anything else for Dakota?
No, just congratulations again, girl. Thank you so much. I'll see you in 3 hours, actually.
Yes. Thank you so much for supporting, guys. Thank you.
Of course. Dakota, we'll see you in Nashville, Tennessee. We're so excited. We'll definitely we're pumped to see you live and maybe even main event that Nashville card. We'll see.
We'll see. Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye.
There we go. Dakota Ditcheva, the face of PFL. Dude, she's the best.
It's a beast. Let's go. Heck yeah. It's been almost 2 hours. It kind of flew by. We went through a lot of stuff. We had King Mo, we had Dakota, we had Connor, Kamzat. We had so many fight announcements this week.
And
flying through it.
Maddie took over the first hour. It was the Maddie hour. And then we had like Mo, we had Dakota. Dude, I didn't realize everyone wants to go to Nashville, Tennessee. That was wild.
You'll have to get a really big Airbnb for everybody.
Oh my goodness, man. We got a lot of stuff planned. We're going to Anaheim in 2 weeks.
I gotta get ready. I gotta watch some more boxing. I'm like looking at my non-existent watch. I thought I had my Apple Watch on.
It was so fun to Vegas Tank Davis boxing fight. And like, guys, I'm an MMA guy. I am a UFC guy for sure. But like boxing in Las Vegas, it was special. And it was really cool too. It was like the 100th championship fight. So like, it was like a big deal. I even got, I got a special thing. Special, like,
ooh.
yeah.
Is that the program?
No, like it's a card they gave me. Like I can in here, I can put like who won what round and stuff.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah. Official book. I don't know. I might give it away. You want to see what I got for Father's Day?
Yes, definitely. Of course.
So my kids, my son Dylan, big wrestling fan, got me a wrestling figure. Pat McAfee.
Aw, that's
the best.
cool.
He's the best guy. He has his own show, WrestleMania edition. There you go. That's Father's Day. The best. Dude.
Chris said we all want to go to Nashville and have Dad Dave pay for it.
Unbelievable.
You thought you only had 4 kids, Dave, but
I know. I got like 10. I got my kids and I got my Fight Bananas family now. It's wild. It's so funny. It used to be Dean. Dean was the one that always paid for stuff. Now it's becoming me. I don't know how
Daddy
I grew
Dean.
into this spot.
Daddy Dean to Daddy Dave.
Unbelievable. That's awesome, McAfee. Thank you, Sean. Dude, hey, Sean, your hat went out today. I sent all the I'm sorry, guys. I was kind of week behind because I went to Vegas last week, so I didn't get everything out. All the free giveaway stuff went out today, guys. Absolutely rolling today. Thank you, Dawson, man. Great stuff. Rolls and bunches. For sure, Dawson. You know, we a big family out here. I love it. Love it. Love it. 10 minutes. We could end early, or we could do something else. I don't know.
What you got in mind? What you got planned?
Okay, let me throw this out here. I think, one fighter that's being very underlooked, underappreciated this week to me is Sergey Popovich. Like, Sergey was the betting favorite over Tom Aspinall to win the championship at MSG last year. Lost to Aspinall. I think we all agree Aspinall is that guy. But Sergey's fighting this weekend, and the co-main event gets Volkov, a really good heavyweight. No one's talking about that fight. Like, it's being underrated.
Well, there's just been so many other things going on. Like, it's just such a bizarre week in MMA between the number one thing that people care about is the Conor drama. Yeah. That's number one. The number two thing people care about isn't even in the UFC. It's Jake Paul. So then behind that, you have Khamzat, which is a huge, huge drama because he's for how inactive of a fighter he's been, he's incredibly polarizing. A lot of people love him. A lot of people think he's like the next coming of Jesus Christ for that division. And then a lot of people really hate him and they don't like that he's active and they think he's overrated. So it's like, he's a very polarizing figure for somebody who's kind of quiet in the sport. So he's number 3. Like by the time we get through every crazy thing that happens.
Yuri and Alex are fighting again out of nowhere. That's number 4. Lopez and Ortega, number 5.
Ortega is number 5. Like, crazy. Anthony Smith is number 6. Like Sergey's getting pushed down the list on things to talk about. But I agree. Like that's a great, that's a fight that can put him right back in title contention, especially in heavyweight. Like that's
a knockout. If he knocks out Volkov, I think he's probably he's next. He's behind Blades and Aspinall. Like he fights the winner of that and Jones and Miocic, all that stuff. Like he's kind of next. He's, God forbid one of those falls out.
And I think this is a good matchup for him too. Like, I just feel like Volkov is dangerous and you have to be sharp with him. But Sergey is that guy that is going to beat almost probably 90% of the division. I feel like somebody like Aspinall or Jones, who's super, super complete and really big and athletic, is the only guy that Sergey is going to struggle with.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, we appreciate you, man. We always love having Sean on the show. Dave, I rock the hat for the next couple of weeks, 2024. Yeah, man. Congratulations to the Celtics, Sean. Much respect. Swev's got Sergey destroys him sub 25 seconds. He might. He absolutely Chris said he had Max Payne Griffin on the show last night. He says it's been hard to watch the UFC since UFC 300. Thoughts? So UFC 300 was the greatest MMA show ever, but UFC 302 was amazing. I loved UFC 302. That was the Dustin Poirier, Makhachev. There was a guy named Grant Dawson who went on that night. It was just, there's been other great fight nights.
I think there's a lot of fighters that aren't fight fans. And that's always been strange to me. That's always been real strange to me. I'm like, how are you not a fan of the thing you do for a living? And I get it. Like some people, it may just be like a job or they just love to fight, but they don't love to watch and study fighting. Like this is something I'm really passionate about. every card that I watch, even the worst cards of the year, I'm still find myself excited, and I find things I like about every single card every week. So that's surprising to me. There's been a lot of good cards since then.
It's so funny you say that, because I hope I never get this way. But when I was at the boxing event, and I know it was a little bit different for me because like I said, I am an MMA guy. Like, there were people there that were like jagged. Like, there were people there were like, oh, when is this going to start? I got to get home to my wife, Lorene, so I can get my gravy dinner. Like, they were already like, I was like so happy to be there. I was literally the first media member in the building. Like, I took these pictures. I don't know if you saw it. Like, I took pictures with no one in the building. It was actually like awesome. It was like really cool and eerie. It was just like cool to me. And it's just like, I don't know why people are jagged against the industry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love the industry. I don't want to get it too much. We make money on the industry. Like, I love this industry. Like, why would I not be a fan or pro this industry that will, it feeds my kids. Like, it literally puts food in my.
You're a fight fan. There are people who like watching fights, but they're entertainment fans. They're not MMA fans. Yeah. Like, they're here for the spectacle, but they don't necessarily appreciate the sport to the extent that I think they should. Because if I watch a fight and I see somebody, like Grant spoke this perfectly. It's like when we see like Liz Carmouche getting stuck on bottom and just like making a decision not to get up, whether or not she wins or loses that fight affects us zero. But we're so passionate about the sport and how much and the things we love about the sport that we're like, come on, like, what are you doing? Like, it's the same to us. This is the same thing as the people that I don't understand who riot when their football team wins. Like, I don't get that. You did nothing. Like, you did nothing to help this team win. What are you doing? I feel the same way when who I have zero connection to Liz Carmouche, zero whatsoever. Like, we're not friends. I've never talked to her in my life. I feel the same way about MMA when somebody I'm watching is fighting that other people do about team sports. So it's like, I can't understand them, but I can understand it for MMA 100%. And I don't get why everybody doesn't feel that way, because it's the best sport in the world. Best sport in the world.
It's incredible. All right, a couple more guys, and then we're going to run. The new glove change has left us thirsty for more finishes. Only 2 to 3 KOs so far with the new gloves. You ready, Dawson? It really might be something, or honestly, I think it might just be a quiddick-a-dick. I really do.
I think it is. I think it's.
I think one card will have like 8 knockouts in a row.
Yeah, I that's how I feel too. It might be an adjustment period. It might, but I genuinely just think like we've had more grapplers on these cards. We've had just more competitive fights. Like it just depends, you know. I don't think it's necessarily the gloves.
Christopher J goes, when will we see Elle fight?
I got to throw some very light kicks yesterday, so they're very sad, but I am slowly getting there. I thought I was going to be fighting this fall. It might be very late this fall before my surgeon is A-okay with that, but if I have it my way, it will be this year. There will be a 2024 Elle Dawson fight poster.
Grant Dawson 2 weeks ago on this show said he wanted to put a baby Dawson in there soon. Was that a no-go?
Maybe like 2-3 more fights and then a baby Dawson. Maybe that's what we'll see.
Really funny too, by the way. Football. Did you see Jillian Savage's IG post about her kicking?
No. Oh, yeah, funny. I did. Yes. So what did she call it? She called the karate naughty.
Yeah. That's so funny. Shout out to Jillian. I think we'll have her on next week. I think we'll have her on one more time before fight week. Ray, Mr. Box and Bananas. Oh,
sorry. I went out of order.
Okay. Every event I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, why did you even buy a ticket? I agree, Ray. I agree.
Right. You know, my question for you, Ray, is why, if people hate grappling and they get so butthurt when fights are boring or have a lot of grappling, why is kickboxing not more popular? Like, why is Muay Thai not the most popular sport?
Joe Rogan talks about this all the time.
Makes no sense to me. Like, if that's really what people wanted to see, they would be watching it because it's there. So that's my always like the lifelong question about that. But anyhow,
Yeah.
moving on. If you riot when your team wins, that doesn't make sense. Gosh dang it.
Push the button
Dave,
at the
stop
same
pushing
time.
the button at the same time as me. Okay, I'm pushing the button. I agree with you, Sean. That's weird to me, but for some reason, people still do that.
Push the Christopher J one.
Oh, sorry.
That's good.
I saw they already have a baby Dawson. Yes, Caesar is our baby Dawson right now.
That is true.
For now. Do we have a Fight Bananas show every day of the week? Do we?
We kind of do some weeks. We do. Monday, Christopher J.
Tuesday.
2 on Tuesdays. Wednesday, Ben and Bananas. Thursday,
we don't have a
usually
Thursday
not on Thursday. Friday, we have sometimes Box of Bananas again. If we have a watch along on Saturday, Sunday, Maddie, and you have the coffee show. So very close. Very close. I think I'm gonna have
Thursday. We need a Thursday show.
I actually talked with another show this past weekend in Vegas. So we're in talks, guys. I don't think people understand. I'm always talking with people. Yesterday I got back from Vegas. I was on the phone yesterday. 8 hours straight. It was insane. We had a very big meeting. Went really well. We had some other stuff. So we're doing good things.
Dave, I want you to know that we all believe that you are always talking. We definitely all believe that. When is the next watch along? When is
UFC 303? We're doing it. You were gonna be here live to watch it with us, but you Ditcheva us. You Dakota Ditcheva us.
Let's play it by ear. Maybe I could come up just Friday and Saturday. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe. It's a big maybe. It's a hard maybe.
Dakota Ditcheva.
I didn't ditch you. Okay. That was really lame.
Yeah.
Now we've moved on to dad jokes. I think we're like digressing. Dave and I are spiraling.
We're over 2 hours. We did it. Fight Bananas for the win. There we go. Good shit. The watch alongs are. I know the watch alongs are incredible. We love it. Last thing I will say, guys. Yeah, we had a massive great weekend in Vegas. Not even just the content we put out, the Tank Davis press conference, his interviews, the knockout, all the press conferences. We did over 1 million reach. We did over 200,000 views and all this stuff. It was such a great weekend for Fight Bananas. And like I said all the time, we can't do it just us. If we put out all this content and you guys didn't watch it and share it and love it and like it, and we would just be talking to ourselves. So we appreciate every single one of you. Hey, thank you so much to Maddie for dominating today's show. Today's show was the Maddie Levine show. Elle, you're always incredible. I'm decent all the time, and that's why I'm good. I'm mediocre all the time. King Mo was awesome. I think we have to get King Mo on the show all the time.
Yes.
King Mo might come back a lot. Dakota
Definitely.
is a shining light. She and cheese. I think Dakota and Fight Bananas, we're like this. It's awesome. So
Dave, don't make it weird. You scare everybody away. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You say something classy at the end, then. You say it.
No, I can't. I got nothing. I'm done. I'm completely cooked. It's been 2 hours. I need to eat some lunch before I'm a real person.
Last thing, on all seriousness, guys, follow Productive Athletics Club on IG. Head to HKA USA and use promo code Bananas20. And last but not least, Joshua Size, go hit them up. Use the promo code 15. Dude, I did that all week in Vegas. Literally, look at my jawline. Nice.
Looking extra sharp there. Thank you guys. We could not do the show without support from our amazing sponsors and all of our awesome subscribers. Thanks, guys.
All right.
We appreciate y'all.
We'll see everyone next week on this show. Tonight, Boxing Bananas will be live. And then tomorrow night, me and Elle will be live tomorrow night to just bet and preview on UFC Saudi Arabia. We'll see everyone later. Cheers. We're done. All right. I'm pushing the button. We're absolutely finished. I'm cooked.